Hi everyone, welcome to sock season week 21, March 17th through 23rd, 2024. I'm Carol, host of A Stitch in Time, and I can be found on Ravelry as Knits and Pearls. This week we are going to continue our trip through the Orient with this book, Silk Road Socks, 14 Sock Patterns Based on Oriental Rugs by Hunter Hammersen. Unfortunately, both this first edition and the second edition are out of print, but you may be able to get your hands on a used copy. Hunter also makes her retired patterns available a couple of times a year, and you can find out when by signing up for her newsletter or following her on Instagram. This week's first sock is called Hotan. Hotan is a town in the area of China formerly known as Chinese Turkestan, and this region supports numerous rug factories. Many people also still weave carpets in their home. Two features that are common to some Hotan rugs are a butter yellow colored center and diamond motifs. These socks certainly reflect those diamond motifs with this beautiful diamond lace pattern. While my socks are chiefly a vibrant pinky red, if you look closely, there is a little bit of yellow in there. This yarn is from Hazel Knits. It's the artisan sock base in the strawberry lemonade colorway. So let me bring these in so you can see them better. So there's that beautiful all over diamond motif. Just a very small ribbed cuff, a garter rib heel flap, and then if I turn these socks around on the sock blocker, you will see that that lace pattern extends into the toe area. So once again, I'll give you one last look at the socks here on the sock blocker before I show them to you while I'm wearing them. The second design for this week is called Mood. Mood is a small town in eastern Iran that produces very high quality rugs. The background of Mood rugs almost always has a tiled effect, which stems from the repeated use of small scale, tightly packed motifs. And here you can see that reflected in the sock design. For her sample socks, Hunter used a gradient colorway from the Unique Sheep, and I did the same, only I used a different colorway. This one is called Dusk on the Fjord, and it is in the Verve sock base. So let me bring this in more closely. You can see this small motif that's repeated all the way down the leg, and then it becomes elongated here on the foot. Again, a short ribbed cuff and a ribbed heel flap. And I'll just let you get a good look at that beautiful gradient colorway. And a final look at the socks here on the sock blockers. Next up is Afari. The Afshars are a nomadic tribe, and many members make their home near the Iranian city of Kerman. Rugs from this area are generally referred to as Afsharis, even though some may be produced by other groups. Although they are quite diverse, Afshari rugs are often predominantly red or blue and often feature horizontal bands of intricate motifs. and those bands are reflected in this sock design. I knit mine from fleece artist Naoni, which has some mohair content, and this is the Madder colorway. And again, you will see a difference between the socks because of the way in which the skein was dyed. I like the one that has the more red in it. No surprise, red's my favorite color. So let me bring this sock up here so you can see this very small rolled garter cuff, and then all of these bands of eyelets and stitches that follow. Just a plain slip stitch heel flap and stockinette foot finish out these socks. So there's the one that has more red, and then this one's just a little more brown. But they are equally beautiful, and with that mohair content, they are definitely nice and warm and cozy. The next design in the book is called Nain. Nain is a small town in central Iran where finely knotted rugs have been produced since the 1930s. Today these are among the best known rugs, and they fetch a high price. Some characteristics of Nain rugs are floral designs, elaborate medallions, and a very specific muted color palette. I wish I had a pair of Nain socks to show you in person. However, I no longer possess the socks that I knit. I gifted these to my mother-in-law years ago. They had been knit from Lorna's Laces shepherd sock in the Fjord colorway. And coincidentally, this is one of the yarns that was used to knit the samples in the book. So, my mother-in-law is from a Welsh family, and our children call her Nine, which is Welsh for grandmother. And it just happens to be spelt the same way as the town in Iran. And so I made names for 9, and I will put a picture of them here for you to enjoy. One of my favorite designs from this book is called Joshian. Joshian rugs are named for a small town in Iran and have a very distinctive style. They feature lattice designs with stylized floral motifs in the center of the lozenges. They are often red, but can also be found in more neutral shades. And here are my Joshian socks. I chose a yarn that closely resembled the yarn that was used for the original sample socks. This is Yarn Chef Minestrone in the Grecian Goddess colorway, and I think this is just the perfect combination of yarn and pattern. So let me just show you this gorgeousness, both the yarn and this lace design that runs all the way down the leg of the sock. You can see there's a twisted rib cuff and heel flap and a plain stockinette foot. But the lace doesn't just end abruptly at the end of the leg. It flows seamlessly into the instep, which is just a very nice touch. So I'll give you one last look at these. If I can pick them up here on the sock blockers. And here's a model shot for you. Another of my favorite designs is called Senna. Senna, which is now known as Sanandaj, is a large city in eastern Iran. Senna rugs feature one of two types of patterning. The first is called Harati, which is a stylized flower surrounded by 4 curved leaves, and the other is Bote, which resembles an angular paisley. And it is this latter design that Hunter used as inspiration for her Senna socks. I knit mine from Oricania Renko Solid in the very imaginative colorway of PT490, which is this beautiful teal green. So as you can see, this Bote paisley pattern runs down the leg of the sock, and then it takes a turn and runs onto this side of the instep. The rest of the cuff is just a 2x2 rib, which runs into this heel flap, and then the remainder of the sock is stockinette. I'm gonna bring that even closer so you can see this design against a background of reverse stockinette stitch. And again, these socks are mirror images of each other so that the patterning runs up the outside of each of the legs and then crosses over to meet in the middle on both feet. The final design from Silk Road Socks is called Usak. Usak is a city in eastern Turkey, and rugs have been produced in this area since at least the 15th century. Usak rugs and Turkish rugs in general have quite a different color palette than Persian rugs, which are usually red and blue. Usak rugs tend to be brown and yellow and rust and feature a characteristic floral motif. My socks are neither brown nor yellow nor rust. They are purple. I knit these with yarn from the Sanguine Griffin. It's the Skinny Bugga in the Shalob colorway. And my light is fading, but I'm thinking there's just enough left to show you this beautiful intricate cuff. Maybe if I put it there, nope, I think that's better there. This motif that runs all the way down the sock and then has a ribbed heel flap. So I'm hoping you can get a good look at this beautiful yarn and stitch work. And one final look at them on the sock blockers. opportunity to visit a carpet factory in Turkey in 2009, and it was just incredible to see them roll out rug after rug with all of their vibrant colors and intricate designs. I'm going to put a few photos here, including one of a woman who was actually knotting a rug while we were there. And you'll notice that she's using a charted pattern very similar to what you would use for cross stitch or other types of needlework. I can't remember how long they said it took to make one of these rugs, but it is hours and hours and weeks and months of hand labor. And each one is just an incredible work of art. I have one last pair of socks to show you this week, and I've been wearing them every year on my birthday since I knit them back in March 2017 for the Grocery Girls Sock Bash. And it just happens to be my birthday this week, so I will be wearing my birthday cake socks. I knit these from 2 colorways of Hedgehog Fibers sock. The main purple colorway is called Birthday Cake, and then the contrasting heels, toes, and color work are Monarch. So they are more or less a plain vanilla sock with a few bells and whistles. I found this fun ruffled edging in, I think, one of my Nikki Epstein's Knitting on the Edge books. Then it flows into a 1x1 ribbed cuff. I found this colorwork chart on the internet and thought it looked like a cake with lots of candles on it. And there will be lots of candles on my cake this year. It's a milestone birthday I am celebrating. And then I did a short row heel and cuff. So special socks for a special day. And that will bring us to the end of sock season week 21. As always, I will provide links to my Ravelry project pages for all of the socks that I showed you today. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to see more knitting and other crafting, be sure to check out regular episodes of A Stitch in Time. I will be back next week with socks from this book, The Knitter's Curiosity Cabinet by Hunter Hammersen. And I hope you'll join me then. Have a great week, and thank you for watching.